This week we are building some dirt cheap rock sliders for our 3rd gen Toyota 4Runner.
Brought to you in part by Cranbrook Toyota.
Now, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you would have seen this. Yep, my wife is pregnant, and well, I gotta make her 4Runner accommodate that. It's lifted, it has 35-inch tires, and well, she doesn't want me to go down on tire size for her because she thinks it looks cool. And that is where the rock sliders will come into play. I'll set them up to be low enough that they can actually be used not only as rock sliders, but as side steps. And because she's pregnant and we're trying to save money, they will be made out of Schedule 40 plumbing pipe. This stuff is cheap. You could pick up a whole 21-foot length of this stuff for about 50 bucks plus tax. And that's Canadian. And now I've got a great excuse to play with my bender. The pipe I picked up is 1.25 inches. On plumbing pipe, that is measured in the ID. The outer diameter is like 1.66. The die I have for my bender is 1.75. So I hope that I can just kind of make it work. Because this comes in such a long length, I pre-measured the rocker panels and got 2 of these pieces cut down already at the plumbing store so that I can transport it home. So on the 4Runner, I got these outside rails cut at 64 inches. So that gives us a great spot to start. Let's head in the shop, bend some metal, and put these suckers together. Here's the basic rundown of the plan. We have that 64-inch piece right here. After that, we will get another piece that is shorter, that comes along the top, bends down at the end, and bends down at the end. Then to give it some support, we'll add a couple of tubes in the middle here, probably 3, and connecting it to the frame, there will be some more down here. That makes sense? Basic rock slider. They're not rocket appliances, but that's what we're doing. My next problem is I don't exactly know how much tubing the radius of the bend is gonna eat up. I've never used this bender before, so I've got nothing to reference. So I guess I'll just wing it and kind of take notes on how much material it uses. I do know that I want the very end of the bend to be butted right up against that 64-inch piece. So I'm not sure if I want literally just the very end poking through here or not. That's what I'm gonna try first. It's bending. Okay, so the marks for how far you're bending it is on the die. Now, does that just line up with this face? They're also not like marked degree-wise. It's just a bunch of lines, so that's cool. I'm gonna go halfway, see how it looks. I think this is about 45 degrees. I think I'm gonna aim for about 60. Now I'm just gonna mark the spot on the die I went to so that when I bend the other side, it'll be even. Do I know what I'm doing? No. Do I ever on this channel? No. But we're pretty good at winging it. Well, I think that's the approach I'm gonna continue to use. I've kind of marked out where I think I need to start the next bend, but am I positive about that? Not even close. Worst case, I bend it, it's too short or it's too long, and well, I have to start again. Not a big deal. I think I actually nailed it. So I'm going to cut off the excess on the end here and round this guy, and then those two will marry each other. Check it out. It's already starting to look like a rock slider. I opted for 2 supports in the middle. 3 just looked a little bit cluttered in there, and I don't think it's gonna be necessary. So now that I've got kind of everything dialed where it's gonna be, I'm gonna use a floppy disk, take the paint off of this metal, and then time to weld. And now that these rock sliders are all done and welded together, it's time for my favorite part, to play with the arc droid. So you can see here, I've got a very basic frame plate that is going to tether those rock sliders to the frame on the 4Runner. So I got my wife to come outside and help me kind of mock up these rock sliders to like kind of land approximately where we want them. They're not exactly where you would want rock sliders, tight to the body and kind of angled up. As I mentioned earlier, these are actually side steps that will mostly function as rock sliders. So this is kind of where we landed, a little bit of a middle ground between the two. And with this mocked up, I can now pull a measurement from my frame to the back of the slider. And it looks like we are just over 7 inches. I think I'm gonna just do a nice round number at 7 inches. So back to the shop to make a whole bunch of 7-inch standoffs. Now, we've got all the materials we need to mount the rock sliders to the 4Runner. And while I have this rock slider mocked up, I went ahead and marked all of the sections on the frame that these guys need to land. Now, I can pull everything away, grind down the frame, make sure that it's bare steel, and then weld these suckers up. Are you here to check out your rock slider?
I am. Oh yeah.
Because usually you're stepping all the way in, right? Like your foot's going all the way there and then in. But you like it? You like the looks of them?
I do. Woo.
Thanks for coming and checking it out.
You're welcome.
Now that the rock sliders are done, there is one more thing I've got to install on this 4Runner today. That is control arms. These are some fan-dangly control arms that Flash Shark sent us. They're made out of tube, and these are designed specifically so that if you have like a 2 to 3 inch lift, this will help you get it into proper alignment. Another nifty feature is it moves the ball joint into the control arm. Stock on these 4Runners, it comes up through the spindle into the control arm, and this way down to the control arm, I think should be a little bit more serviceable. Something else these upper control arms will fix is the ball joint angle. So you see at max droop how terrible this angle is for the ball joint? It's actually binding it up a bit. So in theory, the new upper control arm with the new ball joints will fix this like really severe angle going in there. So, because the ball joint no longer takes up the space down here, they give you these fancy doodads that then slip over that, and this guy goes onto the bottom. And I think because the ball joint isn't all bound up anymore, we actually got a bit more droop out of it. I don't think I could put the tire back on as is right now. I think I'm gonna have to go up with it a bit more. Yep, that tire is not going back on without going up a bit, which means we get to test out those rock sliders. And up. And up. And up. There we go. And off the jack. Perfect. There you have it. We got upper control arms done, and we got do-it-yourself rock sliders. I think this 4Runner's starting to really come along. I love the looks that we're going with it. It looks rugged, even though it's only used to drive to the mall. Let me know what you guys think of the DIY sliders in the comments below. And if you're interested, I will throw those control arms in the description so you can check them out yourself. Anyways, guys, if you do me a huge favor, hit that thumbs up button, and hey, consider subscribing. We upload weekly Toyota, building, wheeling, and off-road content. Anyways, we'll catch you next week. Peace.